Good morning, children. This is part 15. In the previous two videos, we discussed the capital adjustment of the new partner's proportionate capital on the basis of old partner's adjusted capital. In this video, we are going to study the second method of capital adjustment. That is, we are going to adjust old partner's capital on the basis of new partner's capital. So let us discuss the steps of adjustment of old partner's capital on the basis of new partner. Step number 1 is to find out the total capital of the firm on the basis of new partners. The formula will be total capital of the firm is equal to new partner's capital into reciprocal of his share. For example, if C is coming as a new partner for 1/6 share, then in that case and he is bringing 20,000 as capital. So in that case, the new capital of the firm will be 20,000 into 6/1, that is the reciprocal of his share. Step number 2 is you will calculate or basically you will divide the total capital of the firm as calculated in step number 1 in the new profit sharing ratio. This will give you the required capital. And step number 3, you will compare the existing capital. Basically, you will calculate the existing or the present capital of the partners after all the adjustments, that is as per your partner's capital account. And step number 4 will be you will compare the required capital with the existing capital. If the required capital is more than the existing capital, then in that case the partner will be required to introduce the deficient amount in cash or bank, and if the existing capital is more than the required capital, then the partner will withdraw the surplus amount in cash or bank. And if sometimes the question asks you, rather than withdrawing or introducing the money in bank or cash, the excess or surplus might be transferred to their current account. So if the partner is having more of existing capital and if he wants to withdraw, in that case, rather than withdrawing it in cash, the amount can be transferred to the credit of his current account, which will be shown on the liability side of the new balance sheet. And if there is a deficient amount which he was required to bring, and if it has to be transferred to his current account, so his current account will be debited and ultimately it will be shown on the asset side of the new balance sheet after the admission. So as you can see, step number 4, find out the surplus or deficit by comparing new capital and present capital. New capital is the required capital and present capital is the existing capital as per capital account. If any partner's capital is less than new capital, he or she has to bring the capital to make it proportionate. If any partner's present capital is more than the new capital, then he or she has to withdraw the excess in order to make the capital proportionate. The following entries will be passed to record such introduction of capital and withdrawal. Transaction number 1, in case the present capital or the required capital is less than the new in case the existing capital is less than the required capital, in that case the partner will be required to introduce more amount and the journal entry will be bank or cash account debited to partner's capital account. And if the question says it has to be transferred to the current account, so instead of debiting bank or cash account, his current account will be debited. Transaction number 2, in case present capital is more than new capital. So in that case, what will happen, his existing capital is more than the required capital, so therefore the partner will be withdrawing the excess capital and the entry will be partner's capital account debited, because with this withdrawal his capital balance will decrease and therefore it will be debited to cash or bank account because cash is going out, being excess capital withdrawn. And if the question asks you to transfer it to current account rather than withdrawing in cash, so instead of crediting cash or bank account, we will credit the partner's current account. So this was the entry and the steps. Let us discuss a practical question to make it more clear. The question is question number 72, that is A and B are partners sharing profits in the ratio of 2:1. Following items appeared in their balance sheet as at 31st March 2018. So as you can see, on the date of admission or rather before admission, the balance sheet items are given to you, it is not given in a proper format. The items are given to you, so it is advisable to redraft a proper balance sheet so as to see whether the liability side and asset side are tallying or not. If they are tallying, well and good. If they are not tallying, then in that case you have to see that which side is falling short of, and we have to regard it as the balancing figure. So A's capital is 48,000, B's capital 30,000, creditors 15,000, bank balance 5,000, debtors 20,000, machinery 36,000, and stock 44,000. They admit C into partnership on 1st April 2018 with 1/6 share in profits, which he acquires equally from A and B. And remember children, in the questions where you have to adjust the old partner's capital on the basis of proportionate capital of the new partner, irrespective whether the question is asking you or not, you have to calculate the new PSR so as to distribute or calculate the required capital. So in this case, the information of sacrifice is given to you. You are informed that C is coming for 1/6 share, which he acquires equally from A and B. That means half of 1/6, that is 1/2 of 1/6 is given by A, and 1/6, the half of 1/6, that is 1/12, is given by B. So the sacrificing share of A and B is 1/12 and 1/12, which will be deducted from their old ratio to calculate this new PSR. He brings in 20,000 as his capital and 18,000 as goodwill in cash. So he is bringing altogether 38,000, out of which 20,000 he is bringing for capital and 18,000 for goodwill in cash. Following revaluations were made, and now the goodwill of 18,000 will be distributed among the sacrificing partners, that is A and B, in the sacrificing ratio, that is equally. So 9,000 will be given to A and 9,000 will be given to B. Following revaluations were made, 5% provision be made for doubtful debts on debtors, and provision of 2% was to be made on debtors and creditors for discount. So that means there are three types of provisions which you are required to make. You are required to make 2% of provision for discount on creditors. So the value of creditors is 15,000. So 2% of 15,000 will be 300. And this provision for discount on debtors means that later on you might not have to pay this 300 to the creditors. So it is a reduction in the liability, and it will be shown on the credit side of revaluation account as by provision for creditors, for provision for discount on creditors 3,000. And while preparing the balance sheet of the new firm after admission, the value of creditors on the liability side will be shown as 15,000 minus 300, that is 14,700. Then in case of debtors, you have to calculate or prepare two provisions, one for doubtful debts and one for discount on debtors. So in class 11th already we have learned that whenever such type of provisions are calculated on debtors, the priority is given to doubtful debts. That means on the book value of debtors, first of all the provision for doubtful debts is created, and after deducting that provision, whatever amount is left, on that we calculate the provision for discount on debtors. So that means first of all we will calculate 5% provision for doubtful debts on debtors, that is 5% of 20,000 will be 1,000. So, and 20,000 minus 1,000 of provision, that is 19,000 will be left, and 2% for discount on debtors will be calculated on 19,000, that is 3,800. 380. So while showing the value of debtors in the new balance sheet of the new firm, you will show on the asset side debtors 20,000 minus provision for doubtful debts 1,000, that is 19,000 will be left, minus provision for discount on debtors 380, and then whatever will be the amount that will be shown on the outer column. Then point number 2, 1,000 was prepaid for insurance. That means now the revaluation is to be done, that is this is unrecorded asset. So unrecorded asset increases the value of asset, therefore it will be an increase in asset, and it will be shown on the credit side of revaluation account as by prepaid insurance 1,000, and it will also be shown on the asset side of the new balance sheet of the new firm after admission. Then 5,000 is outstanding for salaries. Again it is an unrecorded liability, so it will while we record it, it will increase the liability, and such increase in liability will be shown on the debit side of revaluation account to outstanding salary 5,000, and it will be shown on the liability side of the balance sheet of the new firm after admission. Then 1,480 was accrued income, that is now to be shown in the books. Again, unrecorded asset because accrued income is an asset. So it is an increase in asset and will be shown on the credit side of revaluation account as by accrued income 1,480, and it will also be shown on the asset side of the new balance sheet of the new firm after the admission. Then investment for 6,000 have been omitted to be recorded in the books. It is now, if we are recording, it is increase in asset and it will be shown on the credit side of revaluation account as by investment 6,000, and it will be shown on the asset side of the new balance sheet of the new firm. Then A and B decide to have their capitals in proportion to their share in profits based on C's share. That means you have to calculate the capitals of the old partners, you have to adjust it on the basis of new partners capital. Any excess of capital was to be withdrawn and deficit to be paid in cash. That means in this question you don't have to transfer it to current account. Prepare the partners capital account and give the new balance sheet of the firm. So before starting with the solution, let us redraft the balance sheet before admission so as to see whether the liabilities and the asset side are equal or not. So on the asset side, we have shown the balance sheet items which were given in the question. Bank balance 5,000, debtors 20,000, machinery 36,000 and stock 44,000. And on the liability side, A's capital 48,000, B's capital 30,000 and creditors 15,000. So we saw, while comparing, we saw that liability side is falling short of 12,000 rupees, which we have treated as balancing figure and we have transferred the amount to PL account. So now the balance sheet total will be the same, and the balancing figure which is shown as PL account, since PL account is given, has come on the liability side, therefore it will be treated as undistributed profit and will be distributed among the old partners in the old ratio. So let us see the revaluation account. On the credit side, you have shown the decrease in liability and increase in asset, that is by provision for discount on creditors 300, by prepaid insurance 1,000, by accrued income 1,480 and by investment 6,000, that we have already discussed while explaining the question. On the debit side, you have shown increase in liabilities and decrease in asset, that is to provision for doubtful debts 1,000, that is 5% of 20,000 debtors. Then to provision for discount on debtors 380, that is 2% of 19,000. To outstanding salaries 5,000. So after putting up all the revaluation points and comparing credit side with the debit side, we found out that the credit side is more than the debit side. Therefore there is a profit of rupees 2,400 which will be distributed among the old partners in the old ratio, that is A will be getting 1,600 and B will be getting 800. So this revaluation profit will increase their capital and will be shown on the credit side of their capital account, and the total of revaluation account will be 8,780. As you can see the capital account, on the credit side we have shown the opening balance of A and B. C, the opening balance will not be there because he is the new partner, and we are showing the opening balance on the credit side because it was given on the liability side. If it was given on the asset side, then we would have shown it on the debit side. Anyways, so on the credit side we are showing the opening balances of A and B as 48,000 and 38,000. Then whatever increases their capital balance which will be shown on the credit side. So we are showing by PL account, that is we are distributing the undistributed profit 10,000 in the old ratio, 12,000 in the old ratio. A is getting 8,000 and B is getting 4,000. Then we are giving them the revaluation profit. A is getting 1,600 on the credit side by revaluation account and B is getting 800. Then C is bringing 20,000 as his capital, which is shown by bank account in the C's column, that is 20,000. Then he is also bringing 18,000 for goodwill, which will be distributed among the sacrificing partners, increasing their capital. So therefore on the credit side we have also shown by premium for goodwill account 9,000 in A and 9,000 in B. So we have put up all the adjustments except for capital adjustments. So it is advisable that after doing it all, you calculate the closing balance, and thereafter we will do the adjustment. It will make the calculation and presentation easier for you. So after doing this, we have calculated the closing balance of A as 66,600, B 43,800, and C 20,000. So the closing balance carried down here will be brought down later after totaling it. So as you can see, the closing balance came on the debit side, therefore we have brought it down on the credit side as by balance brought down, A 66,600, B 43,800, and C 20,000. Now we will do the capital adjustment. As you can see the working note, the first working note is for new profit sharing ratio. The share is of C is 1 by 6, which he acquires equally from A and B. That means A is giving half of 1 by 6, that is 1 by 12, and B is also giving 1 by 12. So while calculating new profit sharing ratio, we will reduce or we will deduct their sacrificing share from their old share. So the new PSR of A will be his old share 2 by 3 minus his sacrificing share 1 by 12. So after adjusting the LCM, the new share of A will be 7 by 12. And similarly, the B's old share 1 by 3 minus his sacrificing share 1 by 12. So his new share will be 3 by 12 after adjusting the LCM. C is coming for 1 by 6. As you can see, the denominator of A and B is 12, but that of C is 6. So we have to convert 6 into 12. So for which we have to multiply 2 with 6. So whatever we are multiplying in the denominator, the same has to be multiplied in the numerator. So 1 by 6 into 2 by 2, that is 2 by 12, will be the new share of C. So the ultimately new share, the profit sharing ratio will be 7 is to 3 is to 2. So C brings 20,000 as capital for his 1/6 share. As such, now the capital adjustment. According to C's capital, the capital of the new firm, step 1, will be 20,000 into reciprocal of his share, that is 6 by 1, or you can do 12 by 2. It will come to 1,20,000. Step number 2, you will divide this total capital of the new firm in the new PSR, that is 1,20,000 into in the ratio of 7 is to 3 is to 2. So the required capital of A will be 70,000, B will be 30,000, and C will be 20,000. After calculating required capital, third step is the existing capital of A, B, and C. That is, you have already calculated it from the capital account. The existing capital or the present capital of A is 66,600, B is 43,800, and C is 20,000 respectively. Now step number 4, you will compare the required capital with the existing capital. So the required capital of A is 70,000, whereas the existing capital is 66,600. That means there is a deficiency of 3,400 which will be brought in cash by A, and the entry for this will be bank account debited 3,400 to A's capital account. It will increase his capital balance, therefore it will be shown on the credit side of his capital account as by bank account 3,400. Then the required capital of B is 30,000, whereas his existing capital is 43,800. That means there is a surplus of 13,800 which he will withdraw in cash, and the entry will be B's capital account debited to bank account. It will reduce his capital balance, therefore it will be shown on the debit side of the capital account, that is to bank account, and amount will be shown 13,800 in the B column. The required capital of C is 20,000 and existing capital is also 20,000. So C is not required to bring or withdraw any amount. So you can see on the at the end, you can see after writing the brought down balance of after the adjustments, we are showing the money or bank balance brought in by A, that is 3,400 on the credit side, by bank account 3,400, and on the debit side we are showing the amount withdrawn by B, excess capital, that is to bank 13,800. So after doing this capital adjustment, now we will calculate the final closing balance, that is two balance carried down, A 70,000, B 30,000, and C 20,000. So ultimately this will be the capital balance which will be transferred to balance sheet, and it is kind of a cross check that it should be equal to what we have distributed the total capital in the new profit sharing ratio. Let us see the balance sheet. Balance sheet of new firm as at 1st April 2018, that is on the date of admission date. It's very, very important, children. Asset side, you can see the bank balance has been changed. This is because earlier whatever the bank balance was there, to it the capital and goodwill brought in by C, that is 20,000 for capital and 18,000 for goodwill was added, that is plus 38,000. Then we had deducted the amount of 13,800 which was withdrawn by B, and we have added 3,400 which was brought in by A. So ultimately the bank balance came to 32,600. Then we are showing the value of debtors 20,000 minus provision for doubtful debts 5%, that is 1,000 on 20,000. So the value came to 19,000 minus 2% provision for discount on 19,000, that is 380. So ultimately the amount of debtors came to 18,620. There was no change in stocks, so stock has been copied as it is 44,000. Then there was an unrecorded asset, prepaid insurance, now we have recorded 1,000. Same with accrued income 1,480. Investment, there is no again it was an unrecorded asset, so we have copied it as 6,000. And machinery we have copied as it is since there was no change at 36,000. On the liability side, we have shown the amount of creditors as 15,000 minus 2% provision of 15,000 for discount on creditors, that is 300. So ultimately we have shown the amount of creditors as 14,700. Then there was an unrecorded liability of outstanding salaries, now recorded as 5,000. And the final capital accounts after all the adjustment, even the capital adjustment of A 70,000, B 30,000 and C 20,000, which made the capital worth rupees 1,20,000, that we have already calculated, and we can cross check it as 1,20,000 and as in step 1. So ultimately after putting all the adjustment and all the items, the balance sheet total will be 1,39,700 on each side, and asset and liability side will be tallied. So this is the working note of calculation of new PSR and the adjustment of capital, which is very, very important, and even the question is asking you to show the clear calculation of the old partner's capital adjustment, and even if it doesn't ask you, it is better for you to do it. So I hope the question and the steps are clear to you, children. So this is the assignment based on this part. You have to answer the following questions in your register. Question number 1, you have to list down the steps for adjustment of old partners capital on the basis of new partners capital. So for this, step number 1 is to calculate the total capital of the new firm on the basis of new partners capital. The formula will be new partners capital multiplied by reciprocal of new partners share. Step number 2, you will divide the so calculated total new capital of the new firm in the, you will distribute it in the new PSR so as to calculate required capital. Step number 3, you will calculate the existing capital of each partner individually after all the adjustments before the capital adjustment, just as per the balance of capital accounts. And step number 4, you will compare the required capital with the existing capital. If the required capital is more than the existing capital, the partner is required to introduce more amount, and if the existing capital is more than the required capital, then the partner is required to withdraw the excess amount to make the capitals proportionate. Then question number 2, you have to redo the question taught in this video. The practical question which I have discussed in this video, you have to redo it in your register. You can take the help from the video and you have to redo it on your register. Question number 3, you have to solve practical question number 73 and 74 from the chapter admission of a partner on accounts of accounts book by D.K. Goel volume 1. So you have to solve practical question number 73 and 74. Do practice all the questions, children. Practice as many as you can do, and especially the ones which are being given to you as your homework. Go through the video, revise all the formulas, revise the entries, revise the steps. Thank you, children. Take care.